How are we doing? Hold on, let's make sure. Hold on 1 second. Well, oh my gosh, this is kind of ridiculous. Okay, hold on. Music kind of derped on me. Hold on. There we go. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Carpe Noctem, Smokey Glass. Yeah, we won't hang out here too long. Just kind of want to get some stuff out of the way. First off, we have our YouTube set up now, which is freaking awesome. Go ahead and follow us there. We'll be backlogging season 2 episodes there. The first 3 episodes are there, and then plus the the prologue debate that hinged us into season 2. So go check us out there. Get our followers, our subscribers up there. Do the thing. Follow us on Insta if you want updates, Insta or Facebook. Yeah, and on that note, we are reaching. We are slowly climbing our way to 100 followers, which is freaking awesome. And yeah, I'm speechless. We're almost there, and when we do reach 100, I'll be wearing fake tits on stream, apparently. Yeah, 9 more till fake tits, so you guys have that to look forward to, and this will be a huge milestone for us, kind of going forward after like about a year, a little bit more than a year now. We've been doing this, and we're getting better as we go, and I hope that as we continue to do it, we continue to get better and better. So thank you, everyone. No dress. I cannot promise a dress. Maybe once we hit 200, maybe we'll see. No, we'll see. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. All right. All that aside, shit posting and the shilling aside, Vampire the Masquerade is a dark story. If it's covered in mature topics. Sorry, I derped really hard there. All of the topics here are pretty mature, usually involving murder, violence, either psychological or physical, manipulation, gaslighting, drugs, mutilation, blood, all that, self-mutilation in some cases. So if any of that bothers you, drugs and alcohol, addiction, all of that. If any of that bothers you, cult-like behavior, any of that, please refrain from watching this episode and look after your own mental health, because that comes first above all else. But for those of you who would like to stick around or decide to stick around, I think we'll have a pretty enjoyable episode for you guys tonight. So without any further ado, let's get started into our recaps of last sessions. We'll start out with Simon. You want to take us away? Simon. This is your mic. Yeah.
My eternal curse.
You should expect it at this point.
I'm gonna start saying no. Anyways, Simon Graham, Clan Gangrel. Last time we had another meetup at Mrs. Rose's club. She has quite the arsenal now. Seems they're going to actually entertain Mark's underground adventure. I suggest they blow it up, but they're still concerned about rules and structure and things that don't really matter at this point. But that's still. One opportune moment did appear, though. Jessica reared her head, and thanks to Rose's, I'll say, charitable nature, they struck some deal and learned some things about potential whereabouts, where targets are. But it's hard, man. Back in and just got me an opportunity. Work with her, but this comes at cost. Now my mind lies on one of them, Tony. She wants him dead at a certain point. You talk to him. And Rose, that he offered me. That'll,
Did you say
that'll be
again?
all for me.
Okay. Very well. Colton.
Colton Sticks, Clan Hakata. Last time. What did happen last time? There was some stuff for the Nah, maybe? It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, there was you kind of had a little bit of an argument, a little bit of a tiff with Crimson Rose, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. At a Haven, right?
Yeah, at her haven, yeah. And then you guys got your little arsenal, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Get with the program, Colton. The fuck?
Nah. Maybe we should go over it before stream.
Probably a
Just
good idea.
But no, I just know where we're headed, honestly. To a deep, dark maze. Sounds like fun.
All right. We'll go with Tony next.
Let me get my notes really quick. Antonio Moreno. People call me Tony. Clan La Sombra. Last time I was here. My night opened up with myself being a little bit hungry. I patrol the local town, a Little Italy. Stopped by Fortuna, and there's this suspicious gentleman that's waiting in front of them. Nothing new. We talked for a bit. Says he works for Khalid, and was thinking about working for me if he's okay to feed at my place. And he's not looking the best. He's not dressed the way that I want him to be. So I tell him no. He gets upset and he vanishes. Let him know, hey, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. That's up for him to decide. Get a page on my phone telling me that the stuff's come in Crimson, so I go there. Go to the basement and find this cache of unorganized arms. Then Tim comes down letting us know that Jessica's at the door. Funny gal. But yeah, she's not here looking for me, so it's not my business. Meanwhile, Snar's over there fumbling with a Glock, and I'm just like, this motherfucker. So I snatch it out of his hand and, take care of the thing. And he's looking at me all weird like, I don't think he's Malkavians. I don't fucking... None of my business. Anyways. I see a Browning Model 5. It's a good find. Grab that, couple of shells, and there's 5 rounds of Dragon Breath. That could be useful. He was telling me about Tally. That he might be here for Simon. I might be held culpable, but we'll just have to see what happens with that. Next thing you know, Simon and Crimson come down, and Crimson's yelling at Colton something about, you knew this whole time? And the pieces start connecting together, but at the same time, a part of me kind of already knew. And a part of me doesn't really blame Colton, because it's like, I understand, this is a woman that you love. It is what it is, but yeah, my job is still the same. Whatever happens, happens. Meanwhile, Anar does a basement pop with his Glock. The fucking idiot. But anywho, that's about that. Next thing we're gonna do, probably gonna get down into the sewers, see about this labyrinth, yeah? And yeah, Hope we don't get fucking lost and we stay in one piece. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Hugh, what do you got for me? We're gonna break the order here for a sec.
Human, Clan Tremere. Last time, I'm not gonna waste too much time yet. We all went over to Rose's. Anir appeared to be communing with what I hoped was John Moses Browning, the voice of all guns. But, probably not. Crimson started yelling at Colton because everything's come full circle. She's realized, oh no, it's the same lady. And then Simon, of course, did what Simon does best and stormed off to go do whatever Simon does. And we're all gonna go hunt down the labyrinth, but before that I made sure to stuff all the C4 I could in my pockets, because Lord knows I don't want them handling it. That's all I got.
All right, Anar.
So Anar Navi, Clan Malkavian. And so last session, at the beginning of it, Colt and I were in Anar's parlor, and we did mix some new drugs together. And it's a bit different than what Anar normally does. This mixture will probably make someone go berserk if they're injected with it. So that was bottled and stored away for the appropriate moment. And then the meeting going over all the new items that arrived at Crimson's. And yes, Anar is not really a man of physical violence, so he was getting introduced to all the shooty, stabby things. And one of the guns started speaking to him, and shenanigans ensued. But now everyone's still alive, thankfully, and we're going to proceed on this stakeout or investigating the labyrinth. So that's it for me.
All right. Crimson, last but most certainly not least.
Crimson Rose, Clan Toreador. Yeah, I had gotten all the supplies from Tim. And I'd called everyone over, but we got interrupted by old friend Jessica, who was begging and pleading to feed at my club. And I let her for some information about Jessica, which turned
About
out
who?
Victoria, sorry.
Who?
Veronica, sorry. Oh my god. Every time.
Kind of
Jesus,
crazy.
it's insane. About one of the people we need to hit and how she's working with the Giovanni, hiding out somewhere in the woods. Also found out that Colton knew this entire time. And so I stormed down to confront him about it. Wasn't the worst ending of an argument, but not the best. Lines were drawn. After that, picked myself up, and now we're going to the labyrinth. Hopefully deal with Marcus.
All right. So before we get into all of that, first things first, how are you guys getting there? I know that I gave you some directions, but in order to access the manhole cover, do you guys go directly to the sewer and navigate directly just all the way through the sewers, which would take significantly more time if you just went through the sewers from your club, or you follow the directions exactly and go to the exact manhole cover at corner X and X. We'll say it's on the corner of excuse me one moment. We'll say it's on the corner of Wrightwood and Lakewood Ave. We'll say that, which is probably about a 10 to 15 minute drive away from where you guys are. But if you guys navigate that through the sewers, it's going to take significantly longer. If you guys walk, you guys have a lot of gear.
Well, knowing what we know about labyrinths, I think following the directions exactly would be best. I don't know.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I think Anar would support that. He would want to do exactly what's in the note.
Cut off
He
time.
wouldn't
too.
want to be in the sewer, so like, yeah, I'd say let's go direct.
Okay. Do you guys use a cab, or do you guys like?
Yeah, we can use a cab, Crimson.
Okay.
Crimson got dough now.
Yeah. So, as you're in the cab, and is there any conversation that's to be had while you ride to this labyrinth, or ride to this specific manhole cover?
I'd probably chat up the cabbie. I'd be like, "Hey, cabbie, how's business these days?"
Fucking shit, man. But tourists be arriving, and every now and again, Uber's really been eating us alive, man. Barely able to stay afloat.
Huh? Is that so? Well, let me ask you this: what are your usual clientele types like?
Barflies normally. Why? What's usually a lot of boomer types,
Feel that. Yeah. Some of us have trouble letting go of old habits. But now let's just check in to see if you're keeping up with your health. That's about it. I know we don't know each other, but part of me wanted to ask.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you'd see the cab driver looks a little uncomfortable, but he's like, yeah, sure.
Anyways.
And I open this up to everyone. Do you guys take separate cabs, or are you guys all just crammed into one?
Oh.
I think one would be funnier.
Who all is with this group right now? It's just me, Crimson, and Tony, right?
Yeah, no, it's Tony, Crimson, Colton. You decided to go with them, right?
Everyone but Simon, no?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Imagine Tony's in the passenger seat too.
Yeah, I feel like we'd all just cram into one cab at this point.
Crimson just has her head on Hugh's shoulder.
Okay, so Colton, you're in the cab with them, right? Just to establish, or do you decide to go a different way?
Yeah, I'd pile in. Why not?
Okay. So while Crimson has her head on Hugh, Colton and Anar, Tony's talking to the cabbie. I imagine all your gear is located in the back, like you guys piled it in the trunk. Colton and Anar, what are you two up to? And just so we're clear, I'm imagining Tony sitting in the passenger seat, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, kind of like all crammed in the back. As far as locations, I'm picturing Crimson is in the center left, and Hugh is on the left, and then Anar and Colton are Anar being center right, and then Colton being on the right side of the rear of the cab.
No, I would definitely let Crimson sit by the window, and I'd be like shoved next to Anar, like all huge.
All right, so reverse that then. Okay, cool. Sorry, this has been important of positions and vehicles in the past. I have learned the hard way.
Wait, no, I'm gonna let it go.
It's been a lot of like Mexican standoffs in cars in my experiences. So, yeah. So, Anar and Colton, anything going on between you two?
So Anar would be kind of focusing out the windows. And one of the things that he has to do from time to time when he's trying to find his sire is like ride the L trains in Chicago. And so as they're driving, he's just kind of looking out the windows, watching everyone pass and seeing if he can catch a glimpse of him, because sometimes he just shows up and he just is always looking.
Yeah. Make me, we'll say an intelligent, this is going to be a bit of a different role. We'll say, Wits plus occult.
Okay.
All right. That is -1. Okay, that's 3 successes. As you feel as you're driving, you feel the sensation of disassociation. Everything kind of melts away for a moment. And as the car, it's almost like you're not even there anymore. It's like you're floating in a void. And you start to feel connections. Distant. It's like it's barely beyond your perception, your field of perception, but you feel for a moment the Madness Network, just the web, for a moment as you're gazing out, and it almost manifests as you look, and you'd see all the wires that lead over the city streets. It almost as your visage and the physical distractions kind of bleed away, it's like those linger, and you'd see them stringing out all over above you in these silver lines.
Yeah, and so as he's just like perceiving this and feeling it, he would almost then be like trying to reach towards the windows and like draw lines on the windows, and I imagine would be reaching over someone at this point, and almost just kind of humming to himself a little bit, like little tones now and then, almost like when he's touching and drawing the strings, like it's plucking a string from a guitar or an instrument.
Yeah, so as you kind of lean forward, because all you can see is these silver lines as to where the car window is. Colton, you'd see Anar kind of crawl over you for a moment and press his finger to the glass, the cool glass. And as you do, Anar, the sensation of the glass kind of snaps you out of it. And you just find yourself kind of leaning next to Colton, over Colton.
Yeah, so almost just like his little whisper to Colton, and she's like, I'm guessing you never hear it, do you?
I hear of it, though.
No. It's more like lines and strings. It's okay. I don't hear it all the time either, but sometimes it's better, louder. What do you hear when you listen to things?
A nice howling wind.
That'd be nice to hear sometimes as well. Have you spent much time in the sewers?
I haven't annoyed any Nosferatu enough to have to meet them, so no.
As this conversation is going on, the cabbie turns on the radio.
Do kind of like a double take. Do you hear that? Or is that just me?
No. You're not alone there.
Oh, good.
As all of you are kind of just talking, existing, focusing on the job that's at hand. This just in, as you guys are hearing, you guys hear over the radio, the guy kind of turns it up a little bit. Earlier today there was a shooting at what seems to be some kind of monastery downtown, and you'd hear the radio just talk about like how a mysterious gunman attacked this Buddhist monastery. The shooter is still at large, and they haven't found him yet.
Did they say if the shooting happened at night? I asked the cabbie.
They would say in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, the
Who shoots up monks?
Fucking Chicago.
That's like kicking a puppy.
I'm not saying anything. I just shake my head.
Yeah, they have a very vague description of the guy. A little bit above average height, wearing a mask, carrying what seems to be an AR platform rifle. And you hit the cabbie just says, "Man, this town's going to shit these days." Absolutely.
I'm asking what's keeping you here.
Oh, family, usual shit. Was born here, man. Can't just leave.
That'll do it.
Hey, is your friend back there all right? Is he on some shit?
He's schizophrenic. He'll be alright.
Oh, you brought some kind of schizophrenic in my car? What the fuck?
Hey, we got it under control.
Gentlemen.
He's medicated. He's medicated.
Don't throw around words that you can't define. I guarantee you I am not schizophrenic. Thank you.
But you are medicated.
Not right now, but from time to time I am.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
How rude. It's 2024.
I don't give a fuck. Homies in my car tripping balls. I need to know.
Check your biases, dude.
What are you? What are you? Where'd you crawl out of? Twitter?
I'm just saying schizophrenic is not an accurate assessment of my condition. So if
He's-
you are
Is
going
it
to
called
label
X
me,
now?
He's
perhaps you could do
okay.
it correctly.
Oh, jeez,
Oh,
Louise.
jeez. You guys paid me for your fare. I'll take you to where you need to go. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we're gonna pan over to Simon. What are you up to? You're still with Jessica, right? I think you're muted, Chief.
If we met up again, yeah, I guess I would be.
Did you guys part ways, or did you guys?
I mean, I think from last episode, I think we kind of parted ways. So
Oh, you did. Okay, then where are you going right now?
well, that's a question. That's a question I have for you. Is it like the same night?
Yeah.
A little later?
Yeah, it's the same night. It's just a little later.
Okay. So, in regards to Jessica's offer, I would actually shoot a message to Icarus. You know what I'm saying? So Jessica, I have an answer for her by tomorrow.
You just see a smiley face texting back.
Of course. Try to text David.
Yeah. What do you say?
We need to talk.
As you type the text, you're walking down a misty evening in Chicago. Arthur trotting on his leash next to you, happily glancing around, tongue lolling out happily, just looking up at you for approval every now and again, making sure that he's not getting too far or too close. And soon after, as you hear cars go by dragging their tires upon a wet concrete, wet asphalt. When? Reads the text that you get back.
What does it say?
When? Question mark.
Now. No reply.
There would be another pause. I'm imagining you almost stopping, illuminated by a street light. It's one of those purple street lights, and see casting strange shadows, long and discolored compared to the normal amber or the luminescence that's cast by the normal street lights. Fine. Where? Question mark. Just fine, period, question mark.
Pause for a moment. The diner, the one that was near the Old Haven, or the old cell base, the original one. I forgot the name of it.
You better come alone.
I'll reply, I have a dog.
You're bringing a dog into a diner? Question mark.
You might have to wait outside, but we'll see. I'll reply.
If this, and you get a text back, no funny business.
I'll reply. I should say the same thing to you, considering our last chat went.
No response.
So I make my way there.
Yeah.
Before I put the phone up, I would shoot Rose a message. I'm saying, y'all doing it today?
On our way right now.
Hmm.
And then I'd give him the exact the street and where we would be, in case you feel like tagging along.
I would simply say in response, be safe, but do not get isolated. Stick with someone. I don't know if this is a trap or not.
I'd say you two be safe.
I'll say thanks. And just I'll say thanks. Prepare myself to write something else, but I stopped myself and put the phone away.
Mm. All right. As you walk into the night, you know that this diner isn't too far from where you are now. As you do, like I said, misty streets, long shadows. It almost, after the threat, well, actually, I'll just ask you, what's going through your head as you're walking down these familiar streets?
Rebecca, actually. I'll look at my hand, realizing that it's not the same hand then. But unlike before, I'm not so averse to it anymore.
Mm.
I don't notice all these shadows and wonder if it's Tally or if it's Danielle watching, waiting.
Yeah. As you continue, you see the old kind of shack, the old abandoned auto shop that your coterie or your cell once used as a base for a while. You recognize the long streets where you picked up that pizza, where you'd regularly pick up pizza for the cell underneath an overpass. To your left, you see the diner looks relatively empty. You would see what seems to be a black sedan that's parked in the nearby parking lot. One of the few cars that is there. And you would see it almost comes upon you as you're like scanning around. You'd see David, and he in his black turtleneck and black cargo pants. He'd be staring at you. It seems that he's noticed you before you've noticed him. He's noticed you before you've noticed him. Earpiece in his ear as he sits and waits patiently, a glass of untouched water in front of him.
Simply approach. When I get
Yeah,
there,
as you do, Go. Sorry.
I said, when I get there, I'll sit at the same table, right across from him.
Hmm. Yeah. And I imagine you let Arthur out, like tie him up, tie his leash up or something, or do you just let him off the leash and let him wander?
Yeah, I let him wander.
Okay. With leash in hand, as you let him off, you walk in, that same familiar bell noise where you and the cell used to get breakfast every morning. You walk down the checkered, kind of vintage kind of tiles as you approach David, his back to a wall, watching the rest of the restaurant as you take a seat. The waitress, red hair, brown eyes, asks you if you want anything.
Less water, please.
A small smirk creeps on David's face. You'd see that David, he's wearing his black turtleneck. His pea coat is hung up next to him, as well as what seems to be a small bag, like a gym bag, that's next to him. That seems to be like it can be converted to a backpack. One of those bags. You'd then see staring at him is that he hasn't shaved in a while. It looks like there's a lot of stubble, which seems to be very unlike him. His curly hair has grown out a little bit since the last time you've seen him, and it's kind of slicked back. His dark complexion watches you. He's not a tall man. He's probably around 5'7", but very fit, very athletic. Not like overly bulky, just he looks like his physique is specifically for performance, not a single ounce of vanity on him.
But you finally the beard grow out. Archie used to nag you about that.
You see as you bring up Arthur, he takes a sip of water and kind of stares at you with his intense brown eyes. Funny. Haven't really had time, if I'm being honest. What do you want to talk about?
Well, a few things. Mainly, what do y'all intend to accomplish here? Especially where things are going now, with Lupin's in the mix.
And I would tell you my plan why.
Well, I believe you think I intend to sabotage or something. Or divulge this information to someone else. Am I wrong?
Get to the point. I haven't slept in probably 2 days. I need to know what exactly you want.
Explosives.
No. Takes a sip of water. Is that what you really wanted to come here and ask for? You wanted supplies?
Not so. I did want to see how you're doing, for one. But you guys asked me before to get Hudson isolated. That's bad impossible now. I can take the next best route. Our friend's original plan. Draw them all into one place. Take it down. Simple.
You and your vampire friends.
Or just me.
Just you.
I know you look at me just like them, like vampire. But
I try not to.
fortunately for me, I haven't drawn the Kool-Aid like the rest of them. I believe things can go back to some form of normalcy. They just do the job, keep their heads down, do theirs to bid. Right. You and I know how this goes. Things get worse before they get better. And frankly, they're not all good people. But if it's up to me, I wouldn't want anyone else to die.
Your little group, your gang. Here, you all of you are doing pretty well for yourselves. And he reaches over and grabs like a file from under his bag, and he has pictures of Crimson's club, her art gallery, and then he throws out pictures of Tony's new bar. Fortuna, right? Okay.
I would papers look at him. Is this? I would think you guys would pursue these leads instead of throwing them at me.
Oh, we have been. We have a close eye on all of you.
So who's watching me?
He gives you a quick smile. Simon, I don't want you to be my enemy.
All right.
Listen, I really want to believe you that some vampires can be good. I so, with every part of myself, want to believe you. But I haven't seen it.
My face turns a bit grim. No, I understand where you're coming from. They're not all good. Some pretty selfish, betray one another for a scrap of glory or resources or affiliation. Some just want to watch the world burn.
Look,
but I'm not saying this. Try to save all of them. They try to save the ones that are trying.
How many people have to get hurt in the meantime? Good people. How many people who don't know about any of this have to get swept up in bullshit? How many of them have to go through hell of having their lives destroyed before you realize, Simon, that vampires are fucking evil?
So am I just evil because what I am?
I don't know, Simon.
Then why do you keep bringing hypotheticals up, David? You either acknowledge the facts in front of you, or you stay in your dogmatic mindset.
But see, that's just it. It's not dogmatic. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to show me that not all vampires are monsters.
Need help.
But help you with what?
Ending this.
Exactly.
He's trying to bring Arthur some peace. Say what's important to him. Who's important to him?
So what? You want us to go on a full frontal assault on Hudson's place?
No. Oh, cool. Like I said, none of y'all know more of this. I'm not going to risk anyone else for my grievances. And frankly, it's easy to kill as I used to be. Honestly,
Say that again. Sorry, you came in broken.
I'm not as easy to kill as I used to be. But on your point about vampires being evil, they make it easier for you.
It did.
Because frankly,
when I thought that when I discovered what you are, vampires, I saw for the first moment in my life everything made sense. Everything that humanity could ever want. An enemy. Perfect for uniting people against them. A true monster that manipulates and destroys lives. Who can't get behind that?
then why'd you kill Garrett? He would have just revealed the whole thing. It made the whole conflict a lot simpler.
Things got a little bit hairy.
No, you decided not to trust me. Because I did the ultimate sin in your eyes. I became one. You doubted my commitment. I sacrificed everything to fulfill it. Honor Arthur. Yeah, you don't see it as an honor. I was going to do whatever I can to avenge him. But you stopped me. You left me to burn. We probably wouldn't be having this talk if you trusted me. But you did. And for a time, I was mad about it. And yeah, at that point, in my eyes, you were my enemy. But no, you're not. And Arthur's one last request. Look out for you. That's what I'm doing now.
David slowly stands up. And is looking down at the ground. He show me some proof, Simon. That's all I want.
Vampire. I have a question for you, Dan. If I gave you proof, would you accept it?
Yes, I would. And with
What
that,
exactly?
wordlessly, he doesn't stand around after that. He starts walking away. And he leaves behind the pictures of the havens of your friends, of your coterie. It's going through your head.
All of them?
Well, Fortuna, Shadowheart, the two that he gave you.
I wonder why he picked out these two specifically. No. I always had to do some of my head why Tony, because obviously there's a vested interest there. Vested interest. And Rose, well, kind of linchpin thing. But
There you go.
I'll also try to point out maybe these are two he wants to see humanity in. I'll just take the fouls.
And what do you do? I take it you walk out then?
Yeah, I'll walk out.
Okay. As you do, a cool breeze, whispers of spring, kind of picks up in a sudden gust. And for a moment, this empty Chicago street almost seems peaceful. In kind of a liminal space kind of way. And then it's disturbed by a car driving down the road. You hear some honking in the distance, and the noise of Chicago suddenly comes to a roar. You hear someone shouting in the distance, a loud bang, as the cacophony of the city begins to catch up with you. Arthur sits next to you, and almost a comforting presence amongst the noise. He kind of does a little head bump towards your thigh.
I pet the dog and just mutter to myself, God, I hate this city.
And on that lingering note, we pan away to our other coterie, the other members of the coterie. Anar, Colton, Crimson, Hugh, and Tony. As you get out of the cab, it's a very busy corner. And as you go ahead and you quickly find the manhole cover as you unload. I'm picturing Tony unloading the duffel bags from the back seat and the trunk. Yep. And as you kind of stage them, who's going for the manhole?
As in, like, lifting it?
Yeah, who's going for it?
Okay, I guess that's gonna be me.
Yeah. So, really quickly. So while you stack some of the bags, there's like 3 of them, I'd imagine. First off, what gear did you guys bring?
Let's see. I've got in the bag. Let me take a look at my.
Yeah, really quickly, because I just want to know what you guys are bringing in.
Browning Model 5 shotgun, several shells, as well as 5 things of Dragon's Breath.
Okay. Hugh, you have the 38 special and the C4.
Shit ton
right?
of C4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Colton, is there any gear that you grabbed?
I've got a 38 special.
Okay. Crimson.
I have the gun Simon gave me.
The Desert Eagle.
Yes. As wasn't there like an AK amongst the supplies too? I remember you saying. Yeah, I have that, and then all the extra rounds of ammo.
Okay. I'm assuming that you have it in the duffel bag that Tony is staging. So I'm picturing, and then Anar, you just have that one pistol, right?
Yeah, I think it was like a Glock. And then I have my drug case. And so there'd be normal hallucinogens in there, the berserking formula that we did, and like anesthetic to paralyze something. Perfect.
And as you move about and you guys get all your stuff, what is everyone doing as Tony goes for the manhole cover?
So as soon as we get out of the cab, Anar is going to turn on Sense the Unseen, and he's going to have it on, like, always. And so while they're mucking with the manhole cover, like, I'm looking around for anything unusual.
Perfect. Give me wits awareness.
Colton's going to want to do the same with heightened senses.
As well as Crimson.
Very well. What senses are you heightening? Sight or sound? for both of you?
Definitely hearing.
Mine would be hearing as well.
Okay. All of you can roll me a wits awareness. Okay. Ooh, god damn. Okay. And then Colton. Okay. So 3 successes with Colton, 2, 4, 6 successes with Crimson. So we'll start with Anar first with his 3 successes. As you look around, you don't seem to perceive anything that is inherently trying to be using any disciplines, any phantoms of the night. As you kind of just look around, you just get the feeling of being watched. Maybe it's the nerves of going into somewhere unfamiliar, but as far as you can tell, no one is actively watching you obfuscated. But there's just this feeling of dread that you can kind of feel, like weighing you down. On that note, Colton, as you kind of notice the same, you're kind of glancing around. You said your sight, right, or your hearing? Remind me again.
Hearing.
Yeah, for a moment you'd hear like the bustle of the city almost come to a roar, like a crescendo, almost overwhelming you in that instance. Only then can you start to hear like whispers of people talking. You would hear a woman like yelling at some dude a couple blocks down. Nothing that really picks up your preternatural ears though, right away. And Crimson, you're doing hearing as well.
Yes.
So it's much the same as I described as Colton, but as the cacophony kind of overwhelms you, there's a distant noise, a whisper, almost a series of whispers. It's coming from down below in the sewers. There's the shuffling of feet.
Can I make out what any of them are saying specifically?
No, it's very difficult.
Okay.
But you do know that there are some ways down in the sewers. And you can just barely hear it over all the, because you have to imagine what like an augmented sense of Chicago would feel like, a sense of hearing. You're only barely able to pinpoint this as like kind of an anomaly. That there's like shuffling people in the sewer below.
We're definitely gonna have company down there. We can hear them. Unless it's just the rats.
Do you think rats are that loud?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picturing Tony pulling off the manhole cover.
Yeah.
Something that I'm going to start doing. This is a mechanical statement. Maybe I should have said this before stream, but if there's a role that you don't want to, that's kind of like a middle of the road task kind of thing, and you want to make a quick thing, just say you'll take half. That might speed things up if you want to. If there's like something with a big dice pool that you don't want to risk having a full like roll on, you can say that you can take half if you want of your total pool. Just going forward, I wanted to let you guys know that you can do that. But as you as you take the manhole cover and you're able to move it, it's difficult, but with your incredibly high strength, Tony, you don't find it too challenging. And before you see like the gaping mouth of darkness and shadow that leads to this basement, or not basement, to the sewers.
Yeah. So when that happens, I am going to turn on. Am I still? I'm sorry. I'm going to turn on my Oblivion sight.
Mm.
So it lets me see through darkness, but also lets me see ghosts.
Mm. It's as you do, you see like a field around you, almost like a intangible like pulse that leaks from your pendant.
Huh.
That like kind of protrudes from your pendant
Mm.
as a use Oblivion sight. But yeah, you are able to cut through the shadows. And as you imagine, you're the first one down, Tony, or do you let someone else take the lead?
Yeah, I go down first, and I kind of like, I guess I sling the duffel bag with the shotgun and the stuff in it like around my back, around my shoulder, as I'm making my way down.
As you scurry down, it's the darkness quickly fades as you see it colored in blacks and whites, not able to see true color, but the darkness does not hamper you. Who's next down?
I'll go.
All right, as you quickly follow Tony, you're presented with much the same darkness, illuminated by occasional floodlights.
Tony, why do we keep ending up in the sewers?
Like distant.
I don't know, Hugh. But I'm running out of suits. I'm just running out of suits, period.
We gotta get a clothing allowance, man.
Yeah. Gotta get cleaner sewers.
Clean the suit.
And on that note, Inar, I take it you're the next one down? Or Colton, would you?
Colton's just gonna try and hold up the rear.
Okay.
Yeah. So Anar will shuffle down.
As you have your sense the unseen, you don't see anything, but you feel something. It's hard to tell. It's very distant. But it's like a presence that just seems to be pulsing from the distance.
Is this similar to the feeling of being watched, or is it a different kind of
It's
sensation?
a little bit of a different sensation.
Okay.
It's almost as if it's almost like a whisper, but saying nothing. Just kind of vapid phrases being whispered in your ear.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep going down, and almost like biting his lip a little bit because he's not sure if this is normal voices or something else. So but continuing on.
Right. So now it's just Colton and Crimson up top.
Crimson will go down next.
No words to be said. Ice cold. As
Still listening to see if the voices get louder or any clearer.
it still sounds distant, quiet. You rendezvous with everyone down there to Hugh and Tony talking about cleaning up the sewers.
My bag was slinged over my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm imagining that now you unzip and start brandishing your weapons and keeping them close. The A5 does have both the A5 and the AK do have slings, so you can sling them too. Crimson, I imagine this looks a little awkward with you, a little goth girl with a fucking AK that just like.
Awkward, but she definitely knows what she's doing.
Does she?
I can imagine Simon has taught her a thing or two.
Okay. So as Colton, I imagine you followed down the rear.
I'm going to dispose of the manhole cover so that we don't get trapped in.
Dispose of it, like toss it off somewhere.
Yeah, like hide it inside a dumpster.
Okay, yeah. I'll. Do you want to roll to hide it? Let's see here. Maybe roll me a. Well, first roll me a strength athletics for like lifting the damn thing. Like, because it's not just like picking up and sliding it. This is like whoop, like moving it somewhere. And again, you can take half if you don't want to full on roll for it.
Ooh.
What are we looking at? Ooh, goddamn! Yeah, you just huck this thing like no problem. This ain't nothing. Like no problem.
Yeah, sorry, side note. Manhole covers weigh roughly 90 to 150 pound.
Yeah. So easy day. And where do you hide it? Just behind a dumpster?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. As you do, slide it in the back. Slide it behind this dumpster, and I imagine you head down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys do, again, is there any conversations to be had at the base of the manhole cover, like the little ladder well?
So Nar would kind of try and get everyone's attention real quick and be like, so if we find someone, what are we intending to do with them? We all have guns. Is this just about killing?
Maybe.
If this goes right, this is mainly for reconnaissance.
But let's say we find someone and they can perhaps show us to wherever these individuals are hiding. Do we intend to go or just observe?
Half
guess I'm a
observe, half go.
I'm a little unclear on what it is we want from this cult.
Opportunistic observation. We're gonna observe, and then if we find an opening, take it.
Any answers in R, that's what we...
So information as opposed to destruction is preferred.
Well,
Yes,
if destruction is necessary for information.
I understand. But the intent is, as I said,
Yes.
information is preferable. If destruction is needed to get it, then I understand.
That's why I'm holding the C4.
Yes, maybe you should keep that.
Didn't bring the big guns for nothing. By the way, Hugh, you ever gonna cough up any of that C4?
If you can tell me how to set it off, I'll give you some.
Or you could teach me how to set it off so that way you can ensure that I do know how to.
This isn't the place to teach you how to use C4, sweetheart.
You know what? You're
It's
not
the
wrong.
worst. It's the worst place.
Well, I'm not actually gonna use it right now.
Well, first things first,
Yep.
we gotta find the place, the entrance.
You're right.
labyrinth.
And then I don't remember if I have it or I gave it to Tony or Hugh, but the paper with the directions on.
I imagine you have it.
I'd pull it out and start following.
Yeah. You guys do. As you guys maneuver, I imagine you're moving kind of quietly. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. My heightened senses would still be up if the scene is still going.
Sure. Are you trying to move stealthily?
As quiet as possible, yeah.
Okay. Does everyone kind of in agreement of that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Starting with Colton, Tony, Crimson, Hugh, and then Anar. Roll me a dexterity stealth checks.
Okay.
Starting with Colton. Okay. That's 2 successes for Colton. It's not going to count as a bestial fail because you did pass the overall check. You as well, Hugh. Did you include your hunger in that, Hugh, or no?
Oh shit.
No, I was actually gonna ask you. I have a stealth specialty in break-in, so does like that count for this?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, I'll roll for that now.
Ooh, Tony, that's a bestial fail. Do you want to burn any willpower for that?
Likely, yes. What will I roll if I'm?
Yeah,
putting willpower?
that's one normal dice, one vampire dice.
Okay. I'll just cancel that. Boom, and then let's try this again.
Oof.
Tony, don't feel bad. I'd doing the same thing.
Tony. Okay, so we'll get to you in a moment. Anar, did you roll already?
I got an idea.
There's mine.
Okay, and then Crimson. Oof. So, why'd you roll again, Hugh?
Because I messed up that roll, so I had to roll again to correct it.
Do you want to burn any willpower?
Nope.
The dice gods are not on our side.
So that's a bestial fail for you, Hugh, if you do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll burn a willpower.
Okay. You get to re-roll 2.
So like, just do 2 normal die.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't worry about hunger. Okay, so you do pass because the challenge was one success in order for you to even pass in general. Crimson and Tony, though, as you maneuver through the sewers, you find that we'll start with Tony, as I imagine you're taking the lead with your night vision.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to feel yourself becoming more cold and ruthless, like really almost fixating on every mistake that you make.
Mm.
And as you are navigating this with Crimson right behind you, I'm imagining you're maneuvering through these sewers and you almost glance back for like her to help guide you. And it's then that you see Crimson admiring, kind of like not even looking at the directions to this place. She's just kind of just bumbling around, being just as loud. You're convinced that she is throwing everything off, and that she's the reason why like you guys are making so much goddamn noise.
Mm.
And Crimson, you're just lost in the beauty of this place. This place is disgusting and filthy, and you can even see a couple cute rats in the distance whispering to each other's secrets. Maybe they're talking about what they had to eat the other day, or maybe they're talking about what some silly thing that some human was doing. But either way, you guys are being quite loud, and Crimson, you're completely zoned out, not even paying attention to your directions anymore.
You can imagine she's like running a finger along. She's walking and just.
Yeah, and that finger that's just making this loud kind of like continuous scratching noise. Tony, you feel the callousness, and you almost blame Crimson for all of it. Like it's almost like an annoyed dad on a road trip, for lack of a better. Yeah.
So I'd be like, excuse me, miss. You gonna help me navigate or what?
How could I focus on anything? Look at this place. Do you not see where we are? Do you not see how gorgeous this place is?
Well, if you're not gonna read the map, then I am. Give it here.
Not even looking at him, just like handing him the map and still like just admiring everything.
And to the other three of you, Colton, Anar, and Hugh, their little argument is just echoing everywhere.
As I'm also cursing underneath my breath.
I'm gonna have a fond, almost nostalgic look on my face.
Crimson's walking and she's like just admiring the rats. Like, oh, they're so cute. Oh my goodness.
Hugh, make sure Crimson comes with us.
Of course. And I'm gonna try to like loop one of my arms through one of Crimson's arms.
I just had the thought of like, little monkey backpacks. I can just picture you doing that to Crimson.
I'll be nicer and just do the arm escort this time.
Colton, what are you doing as you're bringing up the rear? Is this loud kind of mess is happening before you?
Colton's going to take Eddie's 38 special. He's concerned that if something needs to be said, it won't be heard unless there's a sudden snap. So he's just being a little cautious.
Anar, as this chaos is happening before you, as you're maneuvering closer and going closer, you'd hear the sound of water from the sewers that intersect. So I imagine there's two sides of the sewer, right? Each one of them kind of leading to other pathways. And as you guys are following the direction, there's the current of water that intersects between the two. You would start feeling that presence getting stronger and stronger. And I need you to roll me an occult intelligence roll.
Okay.
So, first off, do you want to burn any willpower?
Sure.
You can reroll 1.
1.
Okay. With 3 successes, you recognize this sensation. It's almost like there's a very subtle field of the discipline dementation. Okay. It's so faint that it's hard for anyone for you to feel it, but as you're getting closer to it, there's almost what seems to be a madness field as you guys are getting closer. And it's still fairly distant, but you would know that there's something different about it. Normally, this discipline, you need to see someone, you need to be able to look them in the eye in order for this to happen. But this is this shouldn't be real. This shouldn't be possible as far as you know.
So let's see. Crimson and Tony are kind of out of it. So to try and get closer to Hugh and Colton, and Anar would be like, there's a bit of madness in the air. I haven't felt something like this in a long time. It's very faint right now, but I think it'll get stronger as we keep going in. It's quite unique. Maybe you'll all get to hear what I hear for a time.
Does anyone respond to that?
Are you saying this to Hugh and
Colton.
Colton, right?
Yeah, because you and Crimson are having your little tiff.
Yeah. It's not whispered, but like those are the two that I'm going to try to approach and talk to because you guys are having fun.
Mm.
Wait, what? What's going on? Sorry, I was lost in thought.
When we entered the sewers, I could there's a feeling, a sensation, and now as we keep going, it's almost as if there's a field of madness that we're walking into, the dementation that some Malkavians possess. So I think we can all handle it for right now, but you should be aware that there's madness in the air.
Is it gonna, like, affect us, or is it just like a Malkavian thing?
Well, I can definitely feel it right now. So I'm warning you that you should pay attention and see if you feel it too.
You have a gun on you?
Yes, I do. Do you have one?
Hey, Tony, who gave him a gun?
I just stop in my tracks and then slowly turn around. And I'm like, Anna, did you pick up the Glock that we put down?
Of course I did.
The-
It didn't
the
talk
Glock?
to you. It talked to
With
me.
no external safety.
As this is happening, Crimson somehow gets a hold of a rat, and it's just like
Creases are growing on my forehead.
Anar's just going to look over at Crimson and then look back at you and... So I'm the schizophrenic one, looking right back at Crimson.
look at him though, isn't he adorable? His little feet.
She's not
Little-
claiming the rat talks to her.
The rat is just squeaking, kind of freaking out.
Grab him by the tail.
Crimson, don't be rude.
What? I'm not being rude.
So I walk over to Anar. I'll look him up and down. You remember the safety rules, yeah?
Don't point it at any of you.
Yeah. Okay, I look at Hugh and I'll be like, look, listen. He's gonna need a gun.
Would you prefer I not talk about anything that I sense from now on?
No, it's fine. Keep telling us about
Unless
it.
he has those fancy shots on him still.
Oh, I always have those with me.
Don't use those on any of us. That's another safety rule.
I'll do my best.
Okay. That's all I ask.
Anyways. So then, like, I'll adjust the bag and then I'll turn back and then head back in the way I was headed.
Colton, at this news of this strange presence, what do you say anything?
Colton's gonna lean and whisper to Hugh. Do the Tremere have a get out of jail free card for this, or
No. We're going skinny dipping at night, baby. Let's party.
And it's on that phrase. For now, we'll take a short break. We'll be back momentarily. Yeah. All right, we are back. As our kindred are navigating down this dark sewer passageway, it's then that Colton and Crimson, the voices that have become that were initially distant, you begin to hear them become louder and louder. Oh my gosh, where are my fingers? My fingers are all gone. Gone. The fingers. Oh, their fingers. Oh my god, my fingers are. Look at them, they're growing all over.
And only me and him can hear this?
Yeah, with heightened senses.
I'd stop the group.
How do you do that? Do you just tell everyone to stop?
I'd walk in front of all of them and just do the hold my arms out thing. Signal to them to stop.
Me and my own agitation. What now?
Can you hear them? They're just so far and yet so close. And it's almost like now. I need Colton, what are you doing? As you hear this with your heightened hearing.
He's gonna lean in to whisper to Anar. Do you have anything in that bag for getting the truth out of someone?
Not specifically, but sometimes when people see things, they let information slip.
Well, just up ahead, we have someone halfway there already.
And on that note, everyone roll me a wits awareness.
Okay.
Except for Crimson and Colton. Tony got 2 successes. Anar, 2 successes. And Hugh, we're still waiting on you. Oh my god. Hugh, you definitely hear the voices, and they're this individual is approaching quickly. Everyone else, you can just start to hear it. But Colton, Crimson, and Hugh, you guys can almost hear wheezing between the laughs, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my my level 38.
I'm gonna pull out the Desert Eagle and just have it ready. I'm not gonna look threatening with it.
I don't know how you can do that.
Have it like down at my side, or like. Yeah.
So you just leave the AK slung to your back and.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So since Colton was right by Anar's gonna like start backing up to the wall of the sewer and whisper to Colton, "Don't worry, I'll be right here." And as soon as I hit the wall, I'm gonna do Cloak of Shadows. Disappear.
it's at this point that hello? Is anyone there? Am I alone? Am I finally at my limit? How long have I been here? How long? And it's at this point that you can in this you see from the corner as the straight shot, you'd see this individual. He's desperately trying to fumble with a lighter, like he's like has it backwards, and he's trying to fumble with it and trying to get it to work, but like there's nothing that's happening. You see, he looks like he was Tony, you can see him clearly, and Hugh, you can as well. But you can tell that he was once like he's wearing a suit, but he has he has short hair and like grease stains all over him. He looks fairly he looks like he was at one point fairly athletic, but now he's like kind of emaciated as he's trying to backwards on this lighter.
You little bastard.
Wait, you go ahead.
I was gonna look at Tony and be like, shoot a little bastard.
Nah.
It's that point he gets his lighter to work finally, and he starts looking around. Hello, is anyone here? Please.
So as soon as he hits the lights, I'm gonna use the shadow from that light to cast Arms of Ahriman, but it is gonna cost me a rouse check.
Go ahead and do that for me.
Single hunger dice. What do we got?
You do not gain any hunger.
Yeah. So from the shadow that comes underneath that light, it wraps around him and then it connects to the ground and holds him in that position.
So you hold him how again?
Hold him. It's almost as if like the light, the shadow from like the lighter. It's coming down of his hand and like wrapping around all the way like into the ground. It's rooting him into the ground.
Okay. You just hear, the snakes are coming! The snakes are coming! The snakes have me!
Tony didn't think to cover his mouth.
And then I'll walk up to him, get real close, real stern, and then with my dominate compel, that's free, I just tell him, shut up.
Yeah, he can't. You see, he immediately goes quiet, but he's still mouthing the words. He's like,
and then I just say into my regular voice, like, look at me.
Trembling, he looks up.
And then I ask him, calmly as I can, now, I'm going to ask you to speak again, and when I do, I'm going to expect you to calmly answer. Not if you agree.
You see, he starts shaking his head, almost uncontrollably.
I pull out the shotgun and I point it in his face.
You see, like, it's almost like watching a mime. He opens his mouth to scream and nothing is coming out.
Jeez. Anar, can you get over here?
So I'll come out from the shadows and go walk over.
And mind you, Colton and Crimson, there are other voices that you can hear. It's not just this individual, but they're still distant.
Can we tell how close they are?
Roll me a wits awareness, and we'll see.
1 second.
But I'll get back to your two rolls in a moment, Crimson and Colton.
Mm-hmm.
Anar, as you approach, you'd see this. He looked like he was once like I was describing before. He has like a really nice jawline. He looks conventionally very attractive businessman. But you see, like, he just is plastered in filth in this suit. It's like he's been down here for weeks and he hasn't eaten anything. He looks like he's starving.
So, what's this one been talking about?
I don't know, but it's not making any sense.
He's still like he's still miming and stuff like that.
Yeah, he looks like he's screaming as the shotgun is leveled down at his face.
So like very gently, I'm gonna like put my hand on the shotgun and try and like lower it. Be like, I think he gets the picture. Let's try words. Do you let it go down?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Are you blocking him from speaking?
Yeah.
Why don't you stop that? Because we need to hear what he has to say.
And then I squint my eyes real hard, because I did call Anar over, trusting in his help, and we're like, sure. And I look into the eyes of this gentleman and I say, speak.
Master of the shadow snakes, master of the shadow snakes. They whisper. They come when they're not expecting. They come and they itch and they pull at you and pull your flesh apart slowly. I've seen it, what it does to the others. I've seen it. I've seen what the darkness does. The darkness, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Oh, you sing beautifully, my friend. You know of this darkness? You've been there before?
Where haven't I been? I've been everywhere. I feel like I'm feeling everything all at once. It's like I've been to every place ever, and it all starts melting in my brain. Who am I?
I understand the way you feel. You can keep telling me about it, but I think if you show us where you've been, it would be even better.
What do you want to see? Do you want to see where the whispers come? Where the whispers start to come? Or do you want to see? No. I can't. I can't take you to the city. I can't take you to the city that's below. That wouldn't make any sense. That no. They would kill me. They would kill me. They would kill me. They would kill me.
It makes
They would
sense.
kill me. They would kill me. They would kill me. You don't understand. They would kill me. Please.
Okay, just relax for a minute. Think about where the city is. And when he does this, I want to do an active premonition on him.
Oh, okay. What's that dice pool?
Let's see. Resolve.
I should. Yeah.
For me, it's resolve plus auspex. I don't know
Okay.
if he's going to do anything. It's if I succeed in the premonition and learn it.
Yeah. That's more so what I want.
Yep. So I have to do a rouse check.
Yeah.
So,
okay, you don't gain any hunger.
okay. And then here comes the roll. It is.
Here comes the sun. Do.
Oh my god, I can't find it. There we go. That and that's all right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Ooh. Two bestial. Two. So let's see here. It's 2 successes. Let's see here. Can you? Yeah, it wouldn't even be worth it for the 1 extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you pull into his, as you begin to focus on him, something strange happens. This has never happened to you before. As you kind of try to project into his mind, you feel him squirm his way into yours. And it's then that you hear a cacophony of screams. And it's almost like the Madness Network if it was on fire. And you would hear thousands of voices all screaming at once. And it's to the point that as the screaming, you begin to feel the arms of Armand that's around his arms, the shadow, the cool darkness that it's almost like a chilling depression, and you begin to feel that everywhere here, everywhere, and it's to the point that you start to get pulled farther and farther, like away from you and where you are. And as the vision really begins to set in, you'd see almost like a sheet of, as the title of the episode kind of is Smokey Glass. It's like a dark pane of what seems to be like writhing darkness behind it. And then suddenly you snap to yourself and you start to see that everywhere. Like every brick, every surface is just this smoky glass, cold.
So I'm going to reach out and attempt to touch it.
And as you do, you feel it begin to crack. And it's almost like a vacuum. And as you reach out to touch what you think is like, we'll say the floor, right? Or this, or something before you. Tony, what you see is Anar taking his 2 fingers as he goes to touch it. You feel him slowly press his fingers into this guy's eye. And as you see the squelching and the blood begin to run down his face. Anar, what expression do you have as you feel this strange, mysterious, like surface?
So with the combination of like hearing all the screams and with that potentially being from the Madness Network, like there would be like pain and sorrow on his face. Like
so
almost tears coming.
Yeah, I'm saying that you probably are like crimson tears welling up in the sides of his eyes as he's pressing his fingers into this man's eye, and it's to the point where the screaming begins to echo.
In my head, or
everyone's at this point. Everyone's
Yeah.
at this point. And does anyone stop him?
Anar?
Yeah, does anyone stop Anar from sticking his finger in this dude's eye?
I'm assuming that I'm still in the premonition.
Yeah,
so
you're still in the
sense anyone
premonition.
else. Yeah. So I would not be stopping. Like if my hand went through what I think is this smoky glass, then like in the vision, like I would then be like moving my hand back and forth and potentially moving on to touch other things with it. So like inside my head, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, are they standing up or are they like kneeling at this point?
I'm imagining Anar is kneeling next to this dude who's been brought to the ground.
Can I just karate chop his arms to stop him from doing this? Because I want the screaming to stop. So I'm just gonna use my whole forearm to just karate chop downwards.
There's a malevolent part of me that like wants to just stare dead into the open eye that's still of this person and just be like, silence.
Yeah, that's perfect Lasombra behavior. Crimson, what are you doing?
Well, because she has heightened senses, and the screaming would probably be overwhelming and hurt. So she'd whip around and try and see what's happening, and trying to shut this guy up as soon as possible.
Okay, Colton, you're experiencing also, going back to your 2 wits awareness checks, Colton, with your 3, you would hear, as this is going on, before the screaming started, you would hear the shuffling of footsteps, what seems to be what's more like a small group coming closer. And as far as distance, they're out of eyesight now, but probably they're definitely within like 300 feet of you at this point. Crimson, right now you don't hear that because of like I said, the screaming. And as Crimson, you begin to go closer to where this incident is. Hugh, I need you to roll me. I will take strength, or dexterity and brawl. And while you're rolling that, Colton, what are you doing?
Is it a straight line down the sewers?
There's kind of like, it's almost honeycombed at this point. So like, and the sewer that you guys are following, you'll occasionally take a turn, and kind of go up kind of like a ramp kind of thing. But as far as where you're going now, it's straightforward.
Colton's going to aim his 38 special down and see if the shuffling stops.
They do not. So that's fair to assume that they can't see you. And on that note, Hugh, as you like karate chop Anar's arm, Anar, you feel suddenly the sharp pain in your arm, like almost like as if the cold numbness of the arms of Armand that was almost like, it felt like freezer burn, like it was so cold that now it's numb, and then suddenly you felt this like almost jarring like force, like someone like hit you without you expecting, and I don't exactly know how you would respond to that, but I'm imagining you getting really tense, and then suddenly you would snap to, and you would see like blood caking your hand, and this guy before you, just blood streaming down his face as his eye is just this mangled mess that's been shoved off to the side and kind of hangs there like limply as like a thing of jello, almost like some paste.
So Anar would just be like mumbling to himself, no, 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 no. And then he would try to like get the remaining eye of this guy and do cloud memory and be like, forget, because he didn't want to do this to him.
And then I'll grab onto Anar's arm, and I'm just like, that's enough. And then like I'll just use the rest of the arms of our arm to like suffocate this individual.
And so in the order of happenings, so the karate chop happens, blood gouges out, and Anar, you quickly say forget. And why am I here? Who are you? As you feel his like this you'd see the shadow, and you would be able to feel him still, Anar, just barely as the vision fades, as you'd feel that this icy tendril slowly squeezing and asphyxiating this person. You feel like you're being choked in this moment as you feel the life slowly leave him.
And so from there, like, I imagine I might kind of be on the ground. I would shuffle back again, hit the wall, and like try and cloak myself again.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like once I know for sure that this individual is dead, I'll just kick him into the water.
Before he does that, Crimson wants to search him.
Yeah. It's almost
Anar,
like yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, go. Anar go.
It's almost like I put my foot onto the thing, almost about to tip him over, and then Crimson comes over and does that.
Running over, rummaging in his pockets.
Okay.
Do I find anything?
I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Crimson and go, "You're a little loot goblin, aren't you?"
We don't know if he has anything on him.
You're a little loot goblin.
Anar,
Alright, we'll take that as a compliment.
the last thing that was in this man's head before he died. Two things, actually. The kind of the laughter of a child, and then a question: why? Almost in lucid. It's a lucid question, while the rest of his voice sounded like it was riddled with madness. This one question, this one-word question, was incredibly salient.
And so, like, after composing himself a little bit, he'll remove the cloak and would go over to the water and, like, kind of try and wash the blood and gore off of his hand. And then if Crimson and Tony are there, start talking to them and just... I tried to look inside of him, and it was very disturbing. Do you know what the Madness Network is?
Is that some
It's
Malkavian thing?
Yes.
While you guys are talking, you guys would see Colton leveling a gun down the hallway or down the sewer.
So, I lost awareness for a little bit here, but between all Malkavians, there's a connection, and it's known as the Madness Network. This man was not a Malkavian, but it was almost as if he was connected and the whole network was burning. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, Malkavians have Gaydar. We need to go. I don't know what Colton's doing. I don't want to be here. Let's leave.
Question.
I was getting to what you find.
Oh,
So,
okay.
As you he has aside from the lighter, he has a wallet. He has a little pocket knife that looks like really shitty and like kind of stupid. But like it has a small engraving from an Elysia or something like that.
Mhm.
With a little heart engraving next to it. And as you dig into the leather of his wallet, you see there's a couple $100 in here. And
Taking it.
yeah, take the $100, and as you do, you see this man had a family. There's like various like family pictures within his wallet. There's also a pack of cigarettes.
I'm taking it all.
Yeah, yep. And a note that's like a completely illegible scribbling.
As she does this, she would see that he has a family. And before she'd push Tony's foot off real quick, not harshly but gently, and kind of closes one eye because he doesn't have the other anymore. Fix up his suit, like cross his arms, and then gently roll him into the. Or you were gonna push him into the water, right, Tony? You're muted, dude.
I say, after noticing the change in Christmas's position, is like, he's got family, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can't leave evidence. Be sure to get note of his address. Send flowers to the families.
Got it. What do we do with him?
We can't take him with us.
We can't push him down the sewer either.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Marker. And I'm gonna fire my gun.
As he fires his
Jesus
gun, I'm gonna
Christ.
push the body into the water.
Actually, hold on. This is in the wrong playlist. Hold on one second. One moment. There we go. Perfect.
Crimson's still on her knees, kind of looking up at Hugh, like, had to be done, but she didn't want to do it.
So as Colton says Marco, and the gun goes off, and you'd hear a series of what is happening? Is the music not? Okay, hold on. I do not know what's happening. There we go. As the gun goes off, it's like it echoes exponentially, and there's like silence until eventually you hear someone say, "Polo."
So to the people around me, I'm going to say, that madness field that I felt, if it is dementation, this is what it would do to mortals. It would break their minds.
Well, I guess it's a good thing none of us are mortal then, huh?
It could affect you too.
Is there any way to prevent it?
Not that I know of, other than using your own strength.
Would heightened senses still be active?
Yeah. And
Can I-
again, you were deafened
Yeah.
in that moment. You'd
Yeah.
hear the ringing.
Well, in that case, Crimson would just still be on her knees, like hands over.
Hands what?
Over her ears, not being able to.
All right. What's everyone else doing?
Tony's used to hearing a blast or two at this point in his life. So he just like flinches for a bit, and then he looks in the direction of Colton.
Hey, Boston Strangler up front. We need you.
And I'll walk up to him like, what?
Are we gonna kill all these people and keep moving forward, or are we moving back?
Do we have to kill these people to move forward?
I mean, you don't have to talk to them. You just, keep. They might think we're hallucinations.
Yeah. And now speak up to the rest of the group. Hey, I tell you what. If they don't bother you now, just push them to the side. But as soon as they get touchy, kill them.
At this point, Crimson would get up and just unholster her gun and just nod, not wanting to say like anything.
Or would you use the gun that's on a sling? Which one?
Sling, probably. You're right.
So the AK?
Yeah, because at least in that case, she could just hit him with the back of the gun instead of actually shooting.
Okay. So what's marching order here? Because Hugh, you want to leave, right?
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna just ditch Crimson's side. Like, I kind of want to stick right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm
But
leaving.
also, like, are we still going with the directions, or are we, like, leaving now?
Tony has the map. Are we still on course?
Oh, shit.
But also, is this worth it if it gets any more hairy? We did expect this, but
There's a lot more mortals involved than we expected.
Yeah.
We expected zombies, not the living.
and who knows how long they've been missing? Maybe people are still looking for them. Maybe the trail's hot.
I look around at the group. Look around at the situation that we're in. I lower my shotgun. I put it back in the bag. It's not fucking worth it.
I'm gonna say something I don't want to say, Tony.
What?
We have to call the cops.
I raise my
Not the
eyebrow.
human cops! Not the human cops! We need to call the sheriff, because if there's more than, like, 3 mortals down here, everything's fucked.
Maybe they have some leads, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's reasonable to say any mortal that comes down here will just wind up like them all.
All right.
Is the sheriff mortal?
I'll raise my
No.
eyebrow again, and I'm like,
No.
No? Okay. Well, that was for the storyteller, sorry.
Okay,
Should have
okay.
been more specific, sorry.
Yeah.
No, not even a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So it's vocalized. All right. Anyone opposed to getting out of here?
Before we leave, how far are we on the map?
We're about halfway there.
We've come halfway.
No, you saw the brunt of this. You sure you want to keep going?
Of course I want to keep going. We came here for information. We have some.
And
Not
tell me, what does your
much.
gun think about this?
These people are lost. If they don't hurt us, perhaps we can just pass through.
Hmm.
And then what if they all decide they want to hurt us? Then we're backed up in a not great position in a non-level playing field. We don't have the manpower for this.
It's then you hear the voice that said Polo. Marco?
Shoot a look at.
in the direction of the.
I was gonna say, before that happens, I was gonna shoot a look at, like, a fire at Colt and be like, don't fucking answer back.
And then gunshot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a
With all the shooting, then perhaps we should just leave before they get angry.
Well, they don't. They sound scared.
We are scared.
I wasn't shouting that. How would they hear me?
Okay.
Free candy this way. Come on, guys.
Colton, you're not making it any.
What? If we don't want to hurt them, we should probably not let them starve to death down here.
From where we're at right now, is it a straight tunnel? Is there a branch?
Yeah, so it's a fairly straight go with like intersecting kind of kind of intersecting sewers, like almost you're at like, shall we say, a little bit of a intersection, for lack of a better phrase.
So
And
quickly to the group, I'll just say the idea of, can any of you lead this group, this herd, away? I can't remain unseen if I'm moving. But we could lead them away so the rest of us could move forward. Is anyone capable of that?
And then I look at Colton. Well, he seems to be doing a pretty good job at that. Hey, what do you say, Colton?
Sure, I lead them out, then I go get the sheriff, huh?
Simply lead them away from us so that we can continue forward without having to kill them all.
I'll be on my best behavior.
Yeah, right. Question for storyteller. The map that was given, is it specifically only the directions to get...
I was going to say, it's less of a map
Where
and
we
more of a
need-
series of scribbled directions.
Okay, so there's not like just a map of like the rest of the tunnel. It's just specifically where we need to go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to put a pin in this half of the coterie for a second. I'm going to go back up to Simon. Simon, after your little meeting with David, where are you going?
But actually, go to the place Miss Rose sent me the location, at least.
Which is? Oh, yeah. So as you kind of a little bit of a time skip to cover down, you'd see that there is an open manhole cover.
Wits awareness, the current area.
Yeah. Go for it.
Before 1. Yeah, I forgot. I got to roll my own dice now. Yeah. So there's like 3 normal 1 hunger dice.
Whatever hunger you're at, yeah.
1.
So if you had a dice pool of 4, it'd be 1 hunger and 3 normal. Yeah, if in that hypothetical, yep. Okay, so that's 1 success. Yeah, you just see exactly what I described. You can't make heads or tails on where the cover to this manhole is.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that it's just missing.
So I like to activate heightened senses.
Heighten which senses?
Hearing.
It's at that point that you'd hear, make me 1 more wits awareness. Add your auspex.
All right.
And that's something I should have been doing when it comes to wits awareness checks going forward with, because I derped on that.
We all derped.
Yeah, that's on me. You add your auspex to the heightened sense that you're looking for. So excuse me on that. So with 4 successes, you with heightened senses, you hear screaming. And then eventually you'd hear a gunshot. And then a period of time, another gunshot.
I'm kind of listening for names and coterie.
It's really hard to hear. You would just hear some like I said, some screaming, and then a gunshot, and then another gunshot, and like some distant noise, some chatter. It's hard to tell exactly because they're pretty far in at this point, and you would only just barely hear the gunshot, and then you can just barely hear conversating voices. It's so distant, like it's very difficult.
I'll start walking around the manhole, pondering for a moment. There's really work going in here. I stop before jumping in.
Gotcha. Now I need you to make me wits. I'll take an intelligence streetwise or an intelligence. Oof. Survival, maybe?
I would say a cult, but okay.
No, I'm not going to say occult because you're trying to navigate these sewers. Because, like, when you. Yeah. Intelligence streetwise. I try to make out. Because it's easy to get lost in the sewers. So. Well, goddamn. 6 successes. Yeah, you start running in the direction of where you think the shots were, and we'll get back to you in a moment. Going back to the coterie formally, what's the Colton? Were you gonna try to go lead them away?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. So where? So the next to the coterie, excluding Colton, your next instruction is to hang a hard right and then go down this maintenance tunnel. And then the voices and the herd, for lack of a better phrase, is directly in front of you, Colton. Well, rounding a corner, and you'd see some shadowy figures in the distance, obscured by the darkness of the sewers.
Boo.
As you kind of yell boo, you'd hear, God, please, no, not again, not the boos. The boos come, oh God, they come. To the rest of the coterie, do you guys continue on, or do you guys hang out?
Well, we're already walking, we're going with an hour's plan, so I would say we keep going.
Just a little farther. And all of you pay attention, because this madness field could affect you as well. If you feel it, tell us all.
Is there can I make maybe a wits awareness to see if I can hear anything?
Yeah, wits awareness plus
Feel
your
anything?
aspects.
Yeah, 1 second.
That is 1. That's 5 successes. Okay. So with 5 successes, you're trying to listen and feel for any sort of distortions of madness. You don't feel anything.
Got it.
And as you guys round the corner, you'd see like old like lights that kind of flicker and give this strobing effect down this hallway, where you'd see like what seems to be a doorway that leads to the subsequent maintenance tunnel. As you separate from Colton, now Colton, going back to you, you'd feel the you would see that the herd doesn't seem to be approaching you. They seem to be keeping their distance. Do you approach them?
Who's hungry?
God, we haven't eaten in so long. So long. A couple of us have. I swear to God, I saw Lyle eating his own hands. Oh God. Who are you?
Well, let's just say I am the proprietor of a meatworks, so I know how to get food.
Oh, thank God. Fleshy meat that squelches, meat that breathes. You'd see like that one start licking his lips, and I think I was a vegetarian at one point.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Roll me a go lay down. A charisma, manipulation leadership to try to herd them. One success. Yeah, they all start tentatively following you, but it's like herding sheep. They like trip over themselves. They're like screaming to, like amongst each other. And it's at that point, Simon, you'd hear the voices getting louder and louder and louder until finally you come across what seems to be Colton leading a bunch of crazy people. Like a bunch of people that look like their clothes in and of themselves look filthy, absolutely soiled, but they seem relatively normal, and some of them even like high fashion, or like nice suits, or what was once like Armani suits or whatever. And as you'd approach, you like Colton, what does this look like as you're trying to shepherd all these crazy people?
So, Colton's basically just trying to give them rats. make them nibble on some rats, and so he can hear the squeaking, see how far away they all are. And when he sees Simon, for a moment, he's going to think Simon might be a hallucination.
Are you trying to feed these people rats?
I don't know. There's not much of a Simon answer. I feel like you would have said something witty like the blind leading the blind.
Frankly, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, that's pretty Simon. Hey, we're in the funhouse sewers. It's we've been losing our minds a little bit.
I'll look at the site and look at him. Yeah, I can tell. Get these people out of here. Don't feed them rats.
I feel like if I didn't give them a little snack when they went up to the surface, they'd be biting down on pedestrians.
Oh, you're a dark one. Hi. What? And you see one of them reaches for your sunglasses.
I'll block him. I'll knock his hand away.
You see he stumbles and he's gonna make a quick roll. Oh yeah, he falls into the sewer water.
So what a stroke of luck. I was feeling a bit annoyed that instead of assaulting this place, I'd be leading these people around. But didn't your hunters have a test for me? Well, this is a bunch of people I'm rescuing, right? Maybe we should tend them into their care.
I almost raised my opposition, and I'm about to think like, yeah, something at least. Well,
and while the hunters are babysitting the insane, they're not hunting us.
and I'll ruminate on the pals. Have them in person.
You'd see like the water being not that deep. You'd see the guy who fell in. He like is convinced he's drowning, but he's just flailing around like on his back in the sewer water, just getting absolutely more and more disgusting.
Hey,
And I just pull them out.
If your rat gets away, then you won't have anything to eat.
Ah!
All right, Colton. If that's what your plan was. If that's your plan, we got to get these people to the exit, not the rat.
As you can see, their fine motor skills are exemplary, so they're going to be able to climb that ladder themselves.
I mean, you're strong. Did you throw them up?
Okay.
Not without potentially damaging them.
I'll
Killing
drag them
them.
up by their feet. Alrighty, guys, start to line up. I'm gonna have to punch card your tickets. Hold out your hands.
Line
got a
up,
rat?
line up, line up. We're going to recess, everyone. We're going to recess.
These people seem very unwell.
I've seen worse.
Where are the rest of them? The coterie.
They were following the directions. It was, I don't know, a riot. Oh no, I didn't look at the paper. Could always try yelling for them.
I could. But I can always sniff them out. Hunter,
Your mic is acting really weird.
here we go.
There we go.
I said, before I go any further, Colton, do you want to call my hunter friend to receive these people, or do you want them to be a bit far away?
Question for the storyteller: how far away are we from the park? Because that's the only place I've ever met them.
You're pretty far, I think. Let me double check.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
probably give them a call. Maybe not quite to this place because we don't want them exploring the sewer, but I don't know, the nearest landmark near here.
Is there any like restaurants near the sewer?
Yeah,
Or
that's no problem. I would imagine you would have noticed something.
And I'll just send David that location and say, found some lost humans found. Courtesy of Colton.
There would be a pause, and you'd get a text back. What?
I'll pretty much type out essentially missing persons. I've been missing persons for I look at the people. It seems like they've been missing for a while. They've been located, even at this location, courtesy of Colton.
Understood.
And also type in, they're very off kilter. So be gentle.
Understood. So so Colton, you kind of bring them towards the entrance.
Yep.
We're gonna switch frames. Simon, are you going towards? Are you gonna try to find the rest of the coterie, or are you kind of heading back with Colton?
I'm gonna try to find the rest of them because he's not looking for evidence from me. He's looking for evidence from other vampires. So I'll let Colton do it.
Yeah. Go roll me an intelligence survival, I think.
So only intelligence for me. Or streetwise again?
Or streetwise, or intelligence streetwise. I'll take it. Or wits awareness if you want to try to listen for them.
Well, I'll probably just do both then. What's awareness? 3. Oh, I'm stupid. Forgot to add my fucking aspects, but it's fine.
You have auspex?
Adding the
Yeah, you do. Yeah, go ahead and roll me 1, right?
Yeah.
For your auspex. Okay. So with 3 successes, you would hear the creaking of a door, and you're assuming that that's where they are.
Okay, now for the intelligence streetwise.
No. You don't need that. You already made the check. Now going back to the rest of our coterie, as soon as you open the door to this you'd see more of these people hunched over. You'd see they're almost they're just almost like, while the others were like moving around in the sewers, these look like they've been staying put. Like they haven't moved. A lot of them in dazes. So one of them looks like he's trying to bite the wall, and he's just tearing his teeth up, and you'd see chunks of his teeth are missing as you'd hear the click, click, click of him trying to gnaw into the concrete of this maintenance tunnel. And like I said, you'd see just this hallway of these just miserable souls. It almost feels like what you'd imagine walking across the river Styx would feel like.
I'd say to Anar, what purpose do these people serve here?
I can't think of one. All I can say is that this madness in the air, this could be the next level of it. I'm willing to try and walk further. All of you that are better at shooting things if they attack me, try not to hit me as I run away.
I can imagine the more people are around, the closer we are to where we need to go. So
Sounds about right.
I will try and walk through them. Like I said, try and protect me. And with that, with Sense the Unseen still up, I'm going to just very calmly try and start walking through them and see what happens.
Yeah, you see that they almost don't even see you. It's like they barely recognize you, and then the moment they kind of look at you as a group, they shy away in fear.
All right, I'm gonna just slowly keep going, and as I continue forward, can I feel any change in this field?
Yeah. On that note, everyone roll me a composure intelligence.
Oh dear. Okay.
I'm sorry, what are we rolling again?
Composure intelligence.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Your boy
Okay,
a little
that's 1
stupid.
success.
Oh wow.
Okay. It's not. Oh, did you get nothing, Crimson?
Did I?
Holy shit. Do you want to burn willpower?
Yes, please. What am I re-rolling?
3 normal dice. That's kind of crazy.
Whew.
That's fucking crazy!
Oh my god.
Is my thing broken?
No.
No. The fuck, man.
2 successes on Hugh. Okay. Everyone but Crimson. So, you begin to find yourself increasingly agitated. What is your what is your worst fear?
For Anar, it would
No,
be...
for Crimson.
Oh,
I'm not worried about the rest
Oh,
of you yet.
fuck. Being back where the cult had me, being chained up, not being able to be free, being used and feeling dirty,
So
helpless.
suddenly, as everyone else just kind of feels like a really weird sensation of being manic. Like you guys feel like a little focused, a little bit like something feels different. However, Crimson, you're in what's known as a fear frenzy, a terror frenzy. You feel yourself getting closer and closer to this cult. And as you look down at one of the wretches below you, you were once there. That was once you. A prisoner of your own mind, a wretch, a pet to Damien, a pet to Marcus, one that was so eager to please him just by the looks. You feel the tunnel kind of elongate. It becomes more and more distant to the end of this tunnel. It's almost like you're walking and it has no end. Suddenly, you would see a dark, shadowy figure behind you. Now role play this as if this is basically the equivalent of like a panic attack or just like your worst fears burbling to the surface.
Can imagine as the tunnel is getting, she's kind of sweat, looking at her hand. She could breathe, not being able to. Kind of like breath is stuck in her throat. Her mouth is super dry, but still trying to hyperventilate. And once she sees the shadow behind her, she'd just fear, overwhelming fear, and she'd fall. Just curl up into a ball and just not be able to move.
So Simon, as you round the corner, you'd see a lot more of these wretches like shying away. You'd see the dude trying to eat concrete, and as you look down, you would just see the coterie just kind of in single file maneuvering down this tunnel. I need you to also make me an intelligence and composure roll. Okay, you're good. But you would see Crimson suddenly, all of you would see this as she looks back at now what identified as Simon. You'd see Crimson just curl up into a ball, making herself as small as possible, shivering.
Kind of muttering under her breath. I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
I would approach.
Crimson, you would see this figure of darkness approach you.
Flinch and curl up. I didn't mean it.
Now, Simon, you're approaching. I think Anar, you were the closest. Hugh, you would be the closest to her.
yeah, I should be in the lead. Like I offered to go into the tunnel, and they didn't have to follow me.
Yeah. So Hugh, you're right next to Crimson. Tony, I'm picturing you right behind Anar.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just try to pat her on the head? I want to leave one hand clear for this gun that I'm still holding. Like try to make sure she's not going to fall off the edge or anything, but I really can't deal with that right now.
Right. So as you drop low in order to kind of like comfort Crimson, it's like she's not even there.
He.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. He. Pardon me. Crimson, or sorry, what do you guys do when you see Simon approach from the rear?
What does Crimson do?
No, well, what is the rest of the coterie
Yeah.
do? Tony, Hugh, and Anar.
Probably say, I thought you had someone to see, Simon. What are you doing here?
I would pretty much pull out my phone, showing a message Rose sent me.
Well, welcome to the mess. It's not going to get any prettier than this.
And
What's wrong with
motioning, yeah, so motioning back to Crimson and seeing Simon, like, there's madness affecting this place. The farther in we push, the worse it will get. That could be all of us. I'm willing to keep going because me falling into madness is something I'm used to.
Maybe you should help her then.
If I could, I would. But whatever is affecting us, I've never seen it before.
I'm not going to say it. I just... Can I, like... Well, that would be kind of pointless. Like,
So
is there any, like, heart
Hugh-
rate regarding...
No, you can't. The vampires don't have heart rates. She didn't rouse the blood.
I mean, I'm just curious, but yeah. Is there any,
No,
like...
she's just freaking out. She looks like she's like shutting down. In fact, actually, being that this is a terror frenzy, you get closer to her, right?
I'm pretty sure I was pretty much stopped when they said, when Tony asked me that question.
Sure.
I'll probably start approaching after all said and done.
So as you
What's wrong
approach her, Crimson, there's no one else in here other than you and Simon.
Mhm.
And Simon, you don't even know it's Simon, obviously, but you feel yourself like a cornered rat. You feel like there's nowhere else for you to run. You have to do something. You have to fight now.
Realizing she can't back away anymore, I can imagine while she was down there, she was trying to like her way out, like find any way. So I can imagine what's left of her nails are all bloody and her fingertips are scraped up from almost to the bone, attempting to get out. But in her panic, she remembers she has a gun. And she pulls out her AK, screams as loud as she can at the top of her lungs. Not again. And
I'm just gonna
starts
shove
shooting
wherever
and
she's
running,
pointing it. And
shooting and
just can I stop
running
her?
in the direction of Simon, trying to
Hold
get
on.
out.
Let her declare her action first.
God, let me cook, dude.
So you're gonna shoot at Simon and try to run towards.
While
like,
I'm running, still screaming at the top of my lung, shooting. Just with all my force and the force of everything that I have, trying to push past to freedom.
past Simon. So you're gonna run towards Simon or run towards Anar?
Simon, because like you said, nobody else but him is here.
Yep. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we were okay. Hugh, what do you try to do to stop Crimson as you see her? She suddenly explodes up to her feet, leveling. I'm not even gonna say she levels. Just kind of like starts bringing up the AK.
You know what? I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna grab her by the ankles and just pull up.
Okay. Strength brawl versus dexterity athletics Crimson.
I'm dexterity.
Yep, dexterity athletics versus your strength brawl, Hugh.
Bogus. I saw it said 3, and then it went to 1. Hacks, cheats.
So Hugh, is that check? No, that's your intelligence composure, I think, right? No. That's your strength brawl, Hugh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You gave me a lot of experience.
Okay.
Can a girl get a win?
You'd see a shadowy figure, something that looks approximately like a demon, suddenly like pick you up. And I'm gonna say that, and you pick her up from the ankle, right?
Yeah, so she just face plants. Just grab her by the ankles, pull up.
Okay, dexterity.
No, for me?
Yep, dexterity firearms.
Brother.
I'm cook.
Okay, 3 successes. So essentially what happens is, as Hugh yanks Crimson up, you squeeze the trigger. And you guys, all of you would hear, Colton, you would hear this in the distance as well, like a spray of automatic gunfire. As you would, as Anar and company would see that no one of the coterie was shot, but 4 of the whelps that are just cowering away from you, they're kind of, one way or another, they have bullets in them now. They're like holding their chest, like breathing raggedly, and it's almost like you're watching like a dying rabbit who knows that they're gonna die, just like panicking and just holding like whatever wound, if even that, as they just lay there kind of gasping, kind of aimlessly in this in this tunnel, this maintenance tunnel.
So to the ones that are not shot, Anar would be trying to go up to each of them and cloud their memory and like remove this instance of these people being killed.
Okay. Crimson, the 30-round magazine now is empty, and so the bolt is brought to the rear.
She's still upside down.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that you're. So, Hugh, did you scoop her up to carry her up from her ankle, or did you just want her to fall?
Oh, I'm laying on her to make sure she doesn't run anyways. I will have pulled her up and then immediately fallen atop her to just be like, I'm not dealing with this.
Screaming
You're
at
gonna
the
be under
top
me.
of her lungs, like someone is ripping her fucking guts out. Like you know the screams you hear in horror movies?
Yeah.
That, but never ending. And now that she doesn't have any more bullets, she's swinging the gun with all her might. Just,
I mean, you feel like you're swinging your gun, but it's not going anywhere.
so
How
I
tall
feel
is your
like
character?
I'm doing something. She's like 5.
She's not, like, literally, you feel like you're swinging your arms, like trying to shoot like flail this gun around, but like you feel like your body isn't responding. As you see this dark creature kind of press itself against you, almost crushing you with its weight, feeling it become heavier and heavier. And it almost kind of reminds you of Damien's presence over you. That no matter how much you try to resist it, you can't.
Tears, like there have been tears streaming down her face, and they still are. And she's, again, if she could breathe, like hiccuping, like hicks in her breath, like just freaking out. Like, I guess no longer screaming at this point because she's feeling crushed, but just fear in her eyes. Her expression is pure terror.
Yep, it sucks. I know, it sucks. Try to
Kind of
calm
giving
down.
up to the inevitable, like the people around her, I suppose, just accepting fate, like going limp, like no matter what she does, fighting won't help. Just taking it.
Put a pin in that. Colton, you hear a bunch of automatic AK fire. Actually, I'm not even sure if you'd know what an AK, like, I don't know if you're that familiar with firearms, but you would hear like a series of gunshots of automatic fire go off in the distance. Do you abandon what you're doing now, or do you go back to the coterie?
It's a bit business as usual.
Oh, still playing. So as you're kind of like I'm gonna say at this point you're getting closer to the manhole covers, single file. These individuals are like itching and peeling off, and you see one guy is like digging into his arm, and you see like he's starting to pull flesh away from his body, like peeling it away, and you see blood just begin to pool around his fingers as he does.
So just give him a flick on the forehead. And I'm going to start essentially dragging them out. Because I don't trust them to climb ladders without falling.
Yeah, roll me a strength athletics.
I think I might rouse the blood.
Okay, make me that hunger check. You do gain hunger. I mean, you would hear the voice of your sire. Child, why do you spare them so? These miserable creatures. What good will they ever bring versus the good they can bring you?
Maybe just one bite. No. It'll look suspicious. A big hole in one of them.
You could
Alright,
just
he's first.
Yeah, and you'd see the guy. You'd probably take the guy who's peeling his skin off first. And you see he's like looking at it like after you flicked him, he was like, he got stunned for a moment, and he was like looking at his arm like curious, like a child unearthing a rock, pulling up a rock from the ground. He's just looking at his arm and the blood that's just gushing out and the sinew, and he's looking at it just with the same marvel that a toddler looks at like worms under a rock. And as you kind of like grab him and you start dragging him up, time goes by, and eventually you'd see what seems to be a van approach with David in tow. And I imagine that you're kind of corralling them in this alleyway, making sure they're not out in public.
Although I was tempted a moment to bring them to the restaurant just to feed them and see what would happen. But yeah.
Do you want to do that?
No.
That would be really funny. You see David looks at you, looks at the crazy people. What's all this about?
Yeah, the sports team lost. They're a little upset. They need a ride home.
Why is that guy's skin missing? And you see he rushes over and he reaches into his like an ankle like thing, and he pulls out a tourniquet and he starts like applying it, and the guy just starts screaming. So eventually, like as he's screaming, like even kind of flailing away from this like tourniquet, he like puts him in a rear naked choke and he fucking chokes him unconscious really quickly. and then he reapplies the tourniquet, or he finishes up the tourniquet, and he's just looking at he just, was this you?
No. To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure why they're acting the way they are. It's not natural, but not me.
I'm surprised. And he kind of like, he's like, come on, everyone. And he starts kind of like dragging them into this van. This is pretty, this is a lot. I don't think I've ever seen people like this before. Are you alone?
Well, I did see Simon just before. He's the last person I saw.
I'll be in touch. And he like gets into the car and drives away, the van, and drives away.
I'll grab his shoulder as he turns around.
You see, there's a certain tension in his stance as he like kind of like blades himself, but he looks over at you.
Did you shoot up that monastery?
Roll me a. Let's see here. I'll say manipulation, persuasion to ask him the question. Or no, actually, I lied to you. He's gonna answer. Hold on. And he's gonna look at you and he's gonna say, "What's it to you?" And no, it wasn't me.
I just want to know where my name is on your shit list. It's in the middle, at the top, the bottom.
It's in the middle. But there's a friend of mine who's running out of patience. Bring that to Simon next time you guys talk. Tell your coterie, whatever you guys call yourselves. I can't keep my allies back for long. And with that, he turns, gets into the van. And that's where we'll end our session of Vampire the Masquerade. For now. Whew! All right. With that, sorry we didn't get as much. Huh?
I was like, you awake there, Tony? Like, you're not over there.
Yeah, I'm dying. I am bobbing for apples over here.
No, you're good. You're good. It's you're looking
I
like
know, Tony. I was getting worried. I saw you falling asleep there for a minute.
I know you gotta pull me.
Like, just keep one eye open. I can
Yeah.
see
Nodding
Yeah.
off.
Wow. We'll do pros, cons, favorite moment. Yeah, the shirt is putting him to sleep.
Yeah.
Tony, quickly, take off your shirt.
Probably. It's a comfy shirt.
The lack of air.
Airflow from body. Oh my gosh.
All right. So as per usual, we'll do pros, cons, favorite moment. Chat, feel free to indulge. Like I said, what was some of the things you liked about the session? What are the things that you didn't like? What were some of your favorite moments or moment? And then like how, and if you're going to give me a con, tell me how we can improve. Yeah, it's suffocating his pecs. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take it from there. And then where you guys immersed? That's the last question. So we'll start with Tony since he's fading fast.
Yeah, about to black the fuck out. I'm probably gonna dip after this. But anyways, pros, cons, favorite moments. Pros. I felt like it was really immersive. Like I felt the claustrophobia of the sewer. Just like the darkness of it, the grime of it. When you described like the two walkways with the water in the middle, I know I had this image in my head. For anyone in the audience who's ever played Onimusha 3, there's a sewer level, and yeah, sewer level things. But anywho, more pros. Yeah, like really, really good characterization of the people that were like going nuts. What else? Yeah, really, really good interaction. Really, really good improv. Colton with Marco Polo. Just putting some tension where it's quiet. Thank you, I appreciate that. Cons. I'm just falling asleep. It's the shirt. Yeah, wearing clothes. It's a problem. Wearing cons. Favorite moment. I would definitely say how Crimson narrated her insanity. That was pretty good. So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, so I got.
Okay. Simon.
Yes. So,
Yeah, do your thing. Yeah.
Oh, well, a lot of tension this episode. Everyone's feeling the pressure of being, going down the rabbit hole. Unfortunately, told you so. I had to say it. Not many, but favorite moment. Marco Polo.
Not many. Marco. That was great. And then just hello. That was
pretty immersive. I kind of love being more on the sidelines today because I feel like everyone's operate without that moral line. Kind of interesting.
I tried to give you a bunch of time early on since I knew that you were separating.
That's fine with me. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Cool.
It was
All right. All right. Colton. Pros, cons, favorite moment. What do you got for me, baby?
I like the way Anar deals with things. Just hide like a little octopus inking itself.
That's pretty funny.
Way to phrase it, yeah.
Yeah. There was also something Hugh said right at the start, but I don't quite remember it. That was good. Fuck.
In the cab?
What was it even before that?
I was gonna be like, who gave him the gun? Maybe.
All of Hugh's one-liners are amazing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there was something you said right at the start that was funny, but I can't remember it. Because,
why do we keep ending up in sewers?
Can't recall. But yeah, no, it's good to have an episode where we're actually doing things. And another pro, the storyteller put the imagery in my head with me leading people out of what he described as the river Styx was great. It was nice. Nice little something.
Thank you.
Cons? Not really. Yeah.
Cool.
No Nosferatu. That's my con.
Yet.
We were in the sewer for a whole session and we didn't get accosted by Nosferatu. So
No. Thank God.
No Nosferatu. Yeah.
No Nosferatu yet. All right. Crimson.
Pros, cons, favorite moment. I don't really have any cons. I guess The only con is that we missed a session last week, but, you know, we wouldn't have had this killer one this week if we did. Who knows? Pros, I was immersed. The music was really good. Storyteller, your voices tonight were on point. Freaked
Aw.
me out.
That's good.
You little psychos.
Leave them alone.
Favorite moment? I liked Tony and Crimson's little scuffle, but a lot of what Anar did was really cool.
Yeah, Anar really shined to this session. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. In the Marco Polo again, that was just hilarious. What I'm looking forward to, you know, hopefully Crimson getting out of this madness. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would. It really would. Also, what the fuck is up with these? Actually, no, that is my con. The fucking dice.
The dice were
What
pretty rough.
the heck, man? I'm
For
nothing but nice to them. Okay, yes, your dice are beautiful. The way they treat me is not.
Did everyone hear that?
I hope
Rachel?
so. Rigged dice, yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rigged.
Okay, Rachel's talking shit. All right. What you're most looking forward to is figuring out the fuck is going on in these sewers,
Yeah.
or stop
please.
being crazy.
For the love of God, all of the above. It's a conspiracy, yes.
All right. Hugh.
Pros, cons, favorite moment. Pros, a lot of stuff going on in this session. Think it, did pretty good. A lot of moving parts, but, I think it all came together and the music was good. And, yeah, like Crimson said, your voices were varied and good tonight.
Hell yeah.
Cons. Honestly, yeah, being away for a week, it's a little weird, but jumping back into it feels even better, I guess.
Yeah. It did throw me off a little bit as well, but we're back, baby. So.
Yeah, especially with last week being the first use of the dice, and then with this week I'm like, oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
And then favorite moment. Yeah, anything with an R is just really good. Does a really good Malkavian. That's just a really good character. But the Marco Polo thing was absolutely hilarious. So that's my favorite moment.
Fuck yeah.
Marco.
That was pretty
Polo.
great. All right, Anar. If you didn't have anything else, Hugh.
Yeah, that's it.
Super fun session for sure. So I didn't know what to expect in the labyrinth with all of us packing heat and C4 and all this kind of stuff. I was.
You guys aren't even in the labyrinth yet. That's the crazy
Okay.
thing.
So way to give away some details there, buddy. But anyway, I was more expecting ultra violence. And as we kind of proceeded through, to see these wrecked individuals and walking through madness and all that, I loved it. It was built for me, you know.
I know.
So super enjoyed that. It definitely hooked me where cons, I know some people are oh, let's run away. You can run away if you want. But yeah, I was definitely we should push a little bit farther forward in this. Favorite moments, there was a ton. The dual bestial failure right when we dropped into the sewers between Crimson and Tony, that was awesome. Hugh ragdolling Crimson and flailing the AK around and stuff like that. I was oh, there were some people gonna get shot. And then I actually really loved when Colton brought these people out of the sewers. I was super curious to see if they could even get out. But to have this van with the guy delivering all these crazy people, that just in my head was a super fun thing to visualize. And then during the premonition, when I go to touch glass and you're oh, you just put your finger in his eye, and I was well, that just happened.
You can say it that.
Yeah, so tons of fun moments there, and then most looking forward to, like, I want to keep walking forward and seeing what happens. So we'll see. We'll see, and we'll see if we can get Crimson out of this, because I kind of thought about it at the end and didn't bring it up. Like I said, I don't know how to bring her out of this, but what I should have said is, can I roll something to see if I can figure out how to get her out
Yeah,
of this?
thanks, Anar. Thank
So
you.
maybe we'll open with that next time, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, super fun. So looking forward to the next one.
Party on. Oh, and just for context, you would know that you're not in the labyrinth yet because there was a series of directions. You guys are still in the sewer
Mhm.
next to the lab, like we're in the proximity of the labyrinth. So that's why I said you would know that you're not there yet.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes it even more terrifying.
Yeah, good. That's the point.
Also, just realizing during the Marco Polo when he's like free candy and then just a van pull.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny.
kind of fucking horrifying.
We all know you get into vans with candy, like whenever
Yeah.
that happens in your life.
Of course. Especially when it's spray painted on the side, free candy.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. Yeah, so pros, Anar, thanks for biting down when I told you about where your finger was going. That was fun. That was probably one of my favorite moments. Just everyone's reaction to that, watching everyone's expressions was just golden. Everyone was like I've never seen you guys look that uncomfortable before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I gotta go back and rewatch it. But like, it to me, it was hilarious in the moment. And I loved it. All of you guys synergized with each other really well. This session. I'm glad that I'm starting to strain you guys. That was my goal. So I'm glad that it's happening. Makes me
You build us up just to break us down.
as I do. Cons. I think I could have been a little bit more vivid with some of my descriptions. And I felt like my David voice wasn't my David role play wasn't the greatest, but he's a man of few words anyway. My favorite moment, probably Crimson when you role played the freaking out really well. It's hard taking away agency from players and then expecting them to roll with it. It takes it's kind of a hard thing to do. It's for players to do and for a DM to do because it kind of goes against kind of like what we're told to do when you learn how to storytell. It's like one of the big no-nos is like don't fuck with player agency. But I found that as long as you have the conversation beforehand, like taking away agency can be fun as long as you're given something to play with within that. And I think that you did that was a really good example of like how when trusting the storyteller and trusting like the trust between player and storyteller, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool.
Really good.
Yeah, everyone did amazing. Checking chat here really quickly. Rachel, a lot of praise for all the facelifts for the channel. And then Bravo's like awesome. Yeah, your hard work has definitely been appreciated by all of us. I honestly, this wouldn't even be able to happen without Rachel. So,
Thank you, Rachel.
props.
Woot woot.
Panicked Mouse. Thank you for showing up. By the way, I'm glad that everyone has a good time watching this. Really enjoyed tonight's session. Missed you all last week. The monkey backpack comment got me. Great job, everyone, and thank you for another wonderful session. No, thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you. And then there's a lot of like Tony putting on a shirt. the slander. But yeah, no. That's all we got for you. Thank you all for showing up and supporting us. You guys are awesome. We are, like I said, cresting 100 followers on Twitch. If we want to go ahead and bring some of those numbers to YouTube, that would be totally cool. If you can, give us a subscribe, like, ring the bell thingy. I don't know, YouTube things. You've heard it a million times. Our YouTube link is in our description, in our about, and on the actual channel. So if you want to give us a subscription there, that'd be cool. All that good stuff. Let's try to balance out our YouTube and our Twitch. If it's not too much. In the meantime, keep sharing this. All that stupid streamer bullshit that people say, you insert it here. Music credit. That'll be on screen here shortly. Any second now. Just make sure that comes up, and then once we do that, then there we go. Big shout out to specifically Carl Casey, White Bat Audio, and he lends his stuff up for anyone to grab, as long as we credit him. So again, double thank you to him. And then Miu, you probably heard his piano work and a lot of creepypasta stuff. Luckily, he also allows his stuff to be used freely. So thanks to those two artists in particular. Anyone who you think would like actual plays, share this with them. I think that's damn near everything. The art. Check out credit. The Hunter game. She's fucking phenomenal. Great artist, and she has been working with us. And she's been awesome. She's been really quick. So if you want to commission her for anything, definitely hit her up. I'm sure she'll accommodate you as best she can. I think that's everything now. On that note, everyone have a great evening. Take care of yourselves, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you on the next time. Peace.